My name is Elijah Evans. This is Group 6, and our question is, what are the disadvantages of outsourcing? So there are many different disadvantages associated with outsourcing, but I'm just going to cover one, and then my group mates will cover the rest. So I'm going to be speaking on communication issues. So with outsourcing, which is obtaining a good or service from an outside or foreign supplier, there could be a potential opportunity there for communication issues, not only with a potential language barrier. So we speak English in the United States. Our outsource may be in Asia somewhere, so they're speaking some sort of Mandarin or Chinese. So that could cause a language barrier there. And also the time zone that they're located in compared to what we are located in, and their business hours operating there compared to ours could cause an issue because with the language barrier and the time zone difference, they're gonna have to communicate at a specific time that the two businesses can meet and talk, and converse over products and different problems that they're having, and that just causes a dilemma when it's not internal, where you can walk to the manufacturer and see what the problem is. Know the manufacturer is in China somewhere, so that's a phone call. That's a different language. It could cause some communication issues there. Whether that person in Asia has reliable internet connection. Are they available to talk on the phone? Is it strictly email? What is their best method of communication? So those are all things that take into play with communication issues, and just something to consider.
Hello, I'm Tiara Jefferson, and I'm in Group 6, and we did ours on what are the disadvantages of outsourcing. And I feel like outsourcing costs too much because if you have like a contract already in place, and after the contract, you want to add on, that's additional charges. And then to get the contract valid, there's lawyer fees and legal fees, and it's just a whole bunch of unnecessary costs that you really don't need because majority of the time somebody in your company can do it, and you won't have to go to like an outside source to have to pay for something that you can do on your own. So I feel like it's just a waste of money and funds, especially for a small business starting up or trying to get their company on the ground. You don't want to waste unnecessary money and have additional fees for something that you or somebody else can take care of. So I feel like that is a big disadvantage, to waste money that you necessarily don't have to waste, that you can do in-house and save so your company can grow. So I personally feel like outsourcing, that is a big disadvantage, to lose money already.
All right, one disadvantage I have of outsourcing is the lack of internal talent that it leaves on your staff by choosing to outsource. What I mean is that when you look elsewhere to find this good or service to bring back, you're not really developing your staff and giving them the skills that they need to bring this good or service in-house. And that is really the ultimate goal. You want to be able to grow and expand to the point that you don't really need to look elsewhere. You can kind of be all inclusive, but you're depriving yourself and your team of those developmental opportunities. And in turn, that could affect morale. It could affect morale really bad because, one, you would leave the impression that you're looking elsewhere for help, and that would give the employees the perception that their job might be up for grabs because they don't have what you need. And then on top of that, you could be denying them those skills and learning opportunities, or a small local agency that that same developmental opportunity. By doing that, you're really shorting yourself, your people, and your community, and those three things are the main things that you want to build up the most.
So my group, which is group number 6, decided to do disadvantages of outsourcing, which is when you hire another company, which is usually abroad, to do certain activities or tasks for you. And the disadvantage to this would be that the other workers might have less knowledge on the specific thing they're asking them to do, and so therefore they're gonna like be less committed than regular employees would, and this could lead to issues within both organizations, and that would be a big ass disadvantage. Another disadvantage with outsourcing is that it could be delayed due to it being abroad. Like, since it's abroad, certain things might not be done at the time that the organization wants them to be done, and that could lead to future conflicts. And another thing is that you might not be getting the focus that you need or that you want on your specific test, because the companies that you hire that are abroad usually have a lot of other companies working on other stuff and they're not just focused on the specific thing that you're asking them to do.
One disadvantage when it comes to outsourcing is security risk, or in other words, confidentiality. Confidentiality is the state of keeping or being kept secret or private. For example, when you go to the doctor's office, they give you like this application and you fill out the application regarding your previous health history, and in confidence that the information will be confidential between you and the doctor's office. In the time that we live in, data protection is very essential. This occurs when you plan on outsourcing a process that involves personal data. When it requires personal data, you're possibly placing the privacy of people and your business at risk because you're passing the information to another person or to another business. Oftentimes, the information that is being transmitted is payroll information and medical records. To prevent this from happening, you need safeguards in place to protect the information. The outsourcing company should sign a protective clause or a separate non-disclosure agreement to prevent this from happening.
A major disadvantage of outsourcing is loss of control. When you outsource, you give control of management and of the function over to the outsourcing company. The outsourcing company does not follow the same mission and standards held by your company and therefore follow different specifications. The outsourcing company is profit motivated from the services in which it is providing you and other companies alike. The outsourcing company, being profit motivated, will try to increase their profits and decrease their costs. In decreasing their costs, they may trade off your quality. Another risk that comes with loss of control is that you lose your ability to respond rapidly to the changing business environments every day because you have to work with another layer of people.